Okay, so I think I got this. Welcome to MMA Fight Bet. This is the money line watch, and we have UFC Vegas 18, I believe is what it's called. Um, Saturday, February 6th, coming up, and we have in the main event Alistar Overeem taking on Alexander Volkov, and this video right here is going to be breaking down the fight odds, the bet odds, because at MMA Fight Bet, that's what we do. All the news and all that aside, all the rumors and all that aside, we can't make money if Vegas is not offering the line on it, right? So we're going to go to bestfightodds.com and we're going to take a look at what they're offering right now. And anybody can do this. I'm going to go in here and take a look. Um, and here we go. Alexander Volkov versus Alistar Overeem. And I think right now this is the line that I wanted to call out, which was this plus 150. I think the bookies have this backwards. In fact, if I was them, I would have this the complete opposite. I bet it. I bet it bovada. Okay. Not to say you can't bet at any of these other places. I'm sure they're all fine establishments. Um, but I, the way I see this fight, I would think that Alexander um, would be the underdog. Alistar Overeem is on an unbelievable tear, and I think he is a great value at plus 150 on this fight. Now, listen, I went through this and looked at this. Alexander Volkov. Let's just open up the props here for a second, and I'll show you guys, okay? Alexander Volkov. Me personally, as an MMA gambler, I don't like betting on a fight winner um, because so much can happen in MMA. I feel the easier thing to do from a gambling perspective is to bet the over and under or bet a different prop. But with that being said, these guys, I wanted to bet the distance on this fight initially. But when I seen Alistar's odds at plus 150, I really got to think to myself, wow, those are pretty good odds for Alistar being a live dog. Um, Volkov, his fights, the last 10, 40% of them go the distance. Alistar Overeem, a lot less, 10% of his fights. Over the last 10 bouts that he's had, only one of them has gone the distance per the records that we could find. So, understand that before we look at these props, but you come in here and look, over 4.5 plus 235. So they're very, very confident that this, or at least moderately confident that it's not going to make it that far. There is, for a decision, it's plus 260. They'll give you plus 260 if this fight goes to the decision. I think that's a sucker bet. I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that line here. And they're saying the odds of that happening are actually, well, I guess they're going down. So it must have been a little bit higher than that. Um, Fight goes to a decision, the odds on that are actually moving closer. But I don't believe that's going to happen. There is one prop that I feel is sort of intriguing from my perspective on this fight. And that's this prop right here that says fight starts 4th round at plus 155. That's almost the same as what Overeem pays if you take the money line and bet on him. And I think this is an intriguing bet right here because there is a part of me that thinks that this fight will go into the championship rounds. And at 1.5 your money, pretty good odds. They're not confident whether or not they feel the fight will start the 3rd round. They don't feel the fight is going to start the 4th round. So Vegas has this fight ending somewhere in the 3rd round or before. In their opinion, they don't feel this fight makes it to the championship rounds. I'm not so sure about that. And so that's an intriguing bet right there that maybe you think about and say, hey, could I put a unit on this? Would I rather put a unit on this at plus 155 than put a unit on who's going to win? And most of the time for me, the answer is yes. I'd rather put a unit on this than who's going to win. But on this particular fight, for me, the answer is no. I've looked into this a lot, and I feel that Alistar is going to piece. I think he's going to. I think he's going to get Volkov out of there with ground and pound. I really do. Here's why I think that. I went back and watched a lot of Alistar's fights, and over the years, he's grown more and more confident in this kind of stand-up guard that he has. And he's able to kind of weather the shots of guys. And it's almost like he invites it. Like, yeah, come on, hit me, and he kind of goes into this guard. And he does very, very well at weathering shots that way. And he wears down his opponents like that. And I think he'll see flurries from Volkov that are dangerous. But he's got one of the best stand-up guards for a heavyweight that I've seen. I think that Reem is going to take Volkov down, much like all the other wrestlers that have fought him, and wear on him and really, really beat him up with ground and pound and get him out of there. There are some. I'll show you guys some of the other props on this fight. You got Overeem wins in round 1 plus 550. Volkov wins in round 2 plus 525. Overeem wins in round 2, 750. Volkov wins in round 1 is plus 350. Right? These guys by decision plus 440 for Volkov, plus 685 for Overeem. And then here's where Vegas thinks it's going to happen at. Volkov wins inside the distance. They got him at plus 100. Not Volkov inside the distance is negative 130. So you can kind of see there where they come together at. They're just giving you 1-for-1 on your money if you pick that correctly. Overeem inside the distance is plus 215. Let's see. I thought this was an intriguing line. If your sportsbook will allow you to have this, which is not Volkov inside the distance at negative 130. I feel that's a very safe line in this fight. I don't think that Volkov is going to be able to piece up Overeem like everybody's thinking he's going to be able to. I think Overeem, yes, I think he'll take some flurries. But like I said, I think he's going to take this fight to the ground as soon as he possibly can. And I just don't see Volkov. I just don't see Volkov getting Overeem out of there. I really don't. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. But if your sportsbook will allow you to bet this line right here, and it looks as if Five Dimes, Betway, Sportbet, they all will let you bet this. There's even better. I bet at Bovada, and they won't allow this. But I'm sure there's a different situation that I'm not looking at. But Betway has it at negative 138, so a little bit lower than the other two. So the other two have a little bit better odds. If you was to bet that line, if I could find a way to bet this at Bovada, I would bet this. I think this is a safer bet than picking the fight winner. This particular line right here, not Volkov inside the distance. I like that, and I'd be more than happy to take less than 1-for-1 on my money going that way with it. Some of the other ones, this is Betway here. And interesting lines here. Fight ends in round 1, plus 210. Fight ends in round 2, plus 350. Fight ends in round 3, plus 550. I'd advise you guys to stay away from those props. We have no idea when this fight's going to end, right? So you're just throwing away money. Just throwing away money. My pick on this fight is just because when I seen this, I was like, man, they got this wrong, right? And I was like, how did they get this so wrong? How did the bookies get this so wrong? They got Volkov being a favorite over the Reem. The Reem's on a tear. Right here. I'm going to be betting at Bovada. I'm going to be taking this. Right now, it's plus 150. And I'm probably going to go ahead as soon as I end this video and go ahead and drop that unit. Because I feel that closer to this Saturday, even though they're saying this is red, it's moving away from probability. Meaning his odds are they're saying right now his odds are going to keep getting worse. Plus 160, plus 170. I don't feel that's the truth. I feel closer to Friday, you log in, you're looking at Alistar Overeem all of a sudden being even money or in the negative with Alexander Volkov. How I think this looks Saturday, if you log in and you wait till Saturday to bet on a winner, I think they're both negative 110, 115 or something silly like that, right? It's a toss-up. One thing I wish that Bovada would release their props earlier. It's not a knock on them because most sports books don't release their props until the day of. It's just kind of how they do it. But luckily, we have bestfightodds.com here, which is a great site. where you can kind of go in and get a look and get an idea of what they're going to throw up at you on Saturday. From some of the, if you're a prop better like I am, very rarely will I pick a winner of a fight. So, my official prediction for this fight and the line that I think you should take is a winner of the fight. You know, for me, it's going to be Alistar Overeem. For you, if you feel that Volkov's going to win, that's fine. Go ahead and bet him. But my official prediction is going to be that Alistar Overeem at plus 150. Now, like I said, if you bet at one of these platforms, what are they here? Um, Five Dimes, Betway, Sport Bet. See here, Bet Online don't have this line either. So 5 Dimes, Betway, or Sport Bet. I'd almost rather take this not Volkov inside the distance, especially if you feel that the Ream's going to win. You know, yes, it pays a little bit less, but I feel it's a safer bet. I feel it's a lot safer bet. The only way I feel Volkov wins this fight is if he does take it the distance somehow and squeaks out a decision. And we know that he does that 40% of the time. 4 out of 10 fights with Volkov are going to go to a decision. Let's see how many of those he wins. Let's see how many of those he wins. Hold on here 1 second. There we go. Let's go to Tapology here. And I'll kind of show you guys. Tapology is another great resource. These are resources that most handicappers are using. If you guys are not aware of it. So it's UFC Vegas 18. So if we go in and look, I think this is where, let's see here. We'll go 10 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down here to Dennis. So we're talking decision 1, decision 2, decision 3, decision 4. Oh, I'm sorry. I was wrong. It's 50% of the time. And guess what? In his last 10 fights, if he takes it to a decision, he wins 100% of the time. So, there you go. World-class fighter. He's a distance fighter. He has the ability to go the distance, and he has the ability to squeak out decisions and win. And so, like I said, that's the only way I see Volkov winning this fight is if he takes it to a decision, and that would not be inside the distance, right? So I like that line, that negative 130. I think Betway is negative 138. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna take official MMA fight bet prediction here today. We're gonna run Alistar Overeem. We're gonna go ahead and take that plus 150 line on him, the money line on him to win at UFC Vegas 18. We're going to go ahead and take it now. because we feel that that's going to lower as we move towards Saturday. We feel he's going to end up close to even or even in negative return, under 1-for-1 on your money if you wait till Saturday. Now, for those of you that are new to gambling, any of those platforms on that best fight odds is a good choice. I do like those ones that throw up props early. I bet at Bovada, and the reason why is because fast withdrawals. They embrace Bitcoin. They teach you how to use Bitcoin, which is really cool. If you're not familiar with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, they've got an awesome uh, education right there on their website. It teaches you how you can buy Bitcoin, store Bitcoin, transfer Bitcoin to them, and join the revolution where you don't have to have these banks tell you you can't gamble on sports, right? You can't send your money to the sports book because we're blocking it. Your hard-earned money. When you embrace Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, other cryptocurrencies, you take the control out of their hands and say, hey, I'll do what I want with my money. And if you're a responsible gambler, and you should be, don't ever gamble with, bill money and your survival money. You should have a set stack that's set away. That's just your gambling money. And when that's gone, if you lose it all, then you got to rebuild it from savings and build it back up a little bit at a time. Never bet more than 10% of your stack. And so it shouldn't be any of the bank's business what you do. And that's why I like Bovada, because they're cool like that. They say, hey, look, you can deposit through your bank account using Bovada, and I've done it, and it accepts it, no problem. So you don't have to use Bitcoin. But occasionally, once in a blue moon, your bank will throw up a thing and say, hey, we don't want you sending money to this person. We're going to shut off your card and all this and all that, blah, 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 right? So if you need a sports book, Bovada, listen, when I do withdrawals a couple weekends ago, when I bet what was it? The zombie and man, why can't I think of his name? That's crazy. Why can't I think of his name? Brian Ortega. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name for a second. My favorite fighter, man. I've lost my mind. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago when I won several thousand off the Ortega fight, um, who's a beast, let me say. Ortega, man, he's a beast. I don't know why his name was slipping my mind. Um, Instant withdrawal, man, within minutes. Boom, boom. And that's what you need. That's what you're looking for from a sports book, man. Is you don't want to wait days and have to wait for a check in the mail and all this sort of stuff, right? So I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to sign up for a sports book. If you don't have one, or if you already have one, that's cool. No worries. Um, look for that. Look for that Alistar Overeem line at plus 150. All right. I'm gonna throw up one of these on the Frankie Edgar fight, taking on Corey Sandhagen in the co-main event of this card, UFC Vegas 18. This is a really stacked fight night. I like this card. It's a good card. It's a great card. So I'm gonna throw up one of these on that. Let you guys know how I feel about that. Let you guys know how I feel about the breakdown. As always, remember, right up here, MMA Fight Bet. Add a .com to that, MMAFightBet.com. I release analysis there. Release news, MMA news, UFC news every once in a while. Actually, quite often I come across articles and stuff on fighters and stuff, and I'll release some stuff and I'll put it up on that site. But one thing I'll also do is I'll upload these videos on there, embed analysis and stuff like that. So make sure you visit MMAFightBet.com. But other than that, we'll see you guys. See you guys on the next video. Make sure you watch the Frankie Edgar, Corey Sandhagen Moneyline Watch video that I'm going to do. And we'll name that something else. I don't know what to name it right now. But make sure you guys watch that. Make sure you guys subscribe. Whatever platform you're watching this on. Subscribe, like, follow. Whatever you're going to do. So that you can catch our content in the future. See you guys later.